Today, I'm going back to one of the coolest places I've ever been. To some people, it's just a junkyard, but to me, it's like heaven. Now, last week I was there and I was in search of some very important parts for the rear-wheel drive V8 Honda Prelude, but I didn't have the best luck. Until just a few minutes before they were closing, I found what I needed, but I just didn't have enough time to get it. So I'm going back today and I'm gonna be loading up a bunch of tools because it's a far drive and I wanna make sure that I have everything that I need. All right, guys, well, we made it to the junkyard. Now, this place is absolutely huge. If I had to guess, there's thousands of cars on this yard. And last time I made the mistake of coming alone, so I brought my wife with me this time, so hopefully she can help me out. Now, just as a recap, the engine that's going in my Prelude is a small block Chevy V8, and it used V-belts, and we're gonna be converting that to the Serpentine system. So we're looking for a donor engine that we can take the brackets off of, and that specifically is a 4.3 liter V6. And a few of the comments were even saying that I could use a 5.7. We already spent time looking for the 4.3 last week, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the brackets off of that. If I remember correctly, it was somewhere, there it is. So we need the brackets off of the 4.3 in here. And there it is. Specifically what we need is this bracket here that's gonna hold the alternator and the power steering. And then we're gonna need the bracket over here that holds this AC compressor and the idler and the tensioner here. Let's get to it. Okay, I see one. I don't think this is gonna be fun. So I was looking at this and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the passenger side bracket off pretty easily, but looking at the driver's side one, I realized that I might not be able to get it off because some of the bolts are behind the power steering pulley. So in order to get this bracket off, I might have to take this pulley off, and I don't know if I have everything I need to do that. I was gonna take the water pump pulley off, but it was easier to just take the entire water pump off. And I'm pretty sure these are the last two bolts that I need. Yep, I think that was it. Oh. All right, that's good. I see two bolts down here. I'm gonna try to take them off and see if this thing comes loose. But again, I can't really see the bolts that are holding this, so I'm just gonna hope it does. Well, I didn't see anything budge, but let's just see. No, there's still something holding it. The more I look at this, the more I think I'm right, unfortunately. I will need to take the pulley off, I think. I mean, I may be wrong, but from looking at it now, I'm pretty sure the pulley needs to come off for me to get the power steering pump off, for me to get this bracket off. So I'm pretty sure that the bracket that I have at home is exactly the same as this. The one that I was missing was the one that we were able to take off, which was the passenger side. So all I'm gonna do is take off the crank pulley and then see how much this guy wants for these things. Now, Gary here at Tilbury Auto Recyclers is absolutely amazing. Because I know him, he let me go back in the yard. It's not really like a U-pull here, but any parts that you need and you can't find, he's probably got it because you guys seen thousands of vehicles here. So give him a call if you need anything and they should be able to help you out. All right, guys, so I'm home now. I got the bracket here. I want to take everything off of this so that I just have the bracket, and that way I can clean it up, paint it, make it look nice. All right, this is interesting. I did not think there was gonna be a learning moment in taking apart this bracket. So the only way to take this AC compressor out is taking these bolts right out, but if you do that, it hits the pulley. And all these bolts need to come out so that this AC compressor can slide out that way. And I'm looking at it, I don't know how to take this pulley off and the clutch and everything, but I noticed these bolts all have a notch in them. So if I rotate them so that the notch is facing the pulley, it'll just clear. And that's how you can take out all of these. Okay, all the bolts are out. I don't know what's still holding this in. All right, there you go. All right, cool. So now we just have the bracket. I have a cabinet blaster in the back there. I'm gonna get the Jeep out of the way. I'm gonna see if I can get it to work for the very first time. I've yet to use it, so wish me luck. So this was given to me a while ago. I've yet to set it up or even try using it. So I'm gonna try to get it going. If it doesn't work, then we're gonna have to go to Fred's shop. It works! All right, so I'm not done, obviously. I just started, but honestly, I was kind of expecting this to cut to me going to Fred's shop because I didn't expect this to work. I don't know why. There's not much to these. It's pretty simple, but let me show you what's happened so far. Obviously, I need to hit this a little bit more, but you can see where I started blasting. It's cleaning up really, really nice. This is a pretty big piece for a small cabinet like that, but I should be able to do it in here. This is really, really exciting though, because as of now, I've always had to go to Fred's shop to use his sandblaster, but now I got my own and I can blast small-ish things at home. All right, anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up. We're gonna get some paint on it, and then I'm gonna go get all the parts that I need to hopefully put all this together and maybe get a belt on this engine. This is so cool. Okay, I mean, it's good enough for now. No, I still gotta hit it in a few spots. It is very hard to see through that lens or screen or whatever you wanna call it. But I'm gonna hit it a few times. I mean, I'm not gonna be starting a sandblasting company anytime soon, but for the purposes of what I need, this is great. Just enough to clean it up a little bit, get some brand new paint on it. But you can see I still gotta hit it here, a few spots and stuff inside here. The other thing too is I was curious how this would bolt up to the car. And a lot of people were saying that I would have hood clearance issues with where the tensioner goes up top, because this gets pretty high up over the engine. And I put it in there roughly just to take a look at it, and it's looking close. So I'm gonna clean it up one more time and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. This goes here, I believe. All right, so that's pretty much where it's going. Now it might be hard to see from that angle. Oh no, guys. Yeah, that's literally higher than the hood. Well, even if this bracket's gonna stick out of the hood a little bit and not allow us to actually run a hood, I'm not gonna let that stop me. The way that I'm setting this up right now with the Serpentine belt is the cheapest way to do it. And although we're approaching 20K subs, we're not made of money yet. So this is the route that I'm gonna have to go with, because the other options are very expensive. So if we get this car running and rolling and driving and I don't have a hood, that's not the end of the world. And in the future, changing to a different setup for the Serpentine belt is not that hard. It's gonna cost some money, but the work is not that bad. So we're gonna worry about that later. Those brackets are dried and we're gonna hit them with some black paint. All right guys, it's been a couple days now. My brackets are painted and ready to go. All the parts that Fred ordered for me should be here, so let's go pick them up. All right, so I just got to Fred's shop. He ordered all the parts for me, so all the parts are here. And then we went together to go pick up the alternator as well. Right now we gotta take apart the old power steering pump because there's a core charge on it, but there's the new one right there. And then when I get back home, we can try to put all this together and see what works. Oh yeah, we also got the new idler pulley and tensioner pulley along with the belts. All right, we're back in the shop. I feel like I'm all over the place in this video. I've just been going back and forth from place to place. And on top of that, in my travels, I somehow lost the clip for my mic, so I'm using a paper clip. So life hack, if you have a lav mic and you lose your little clip, you can use a paper clip in the meantime. But I've been messing around with all the new parts that we got. I've been trying to just lay everything out to see what bolts that I'm missing because that's the only thing left. But this is roughly what's going on. We got the crank pulley, we got the water pump pulley. Now normally there's supposed to be an AC up here, but we're eliminating that. We're not gonna be using it, so we can get rid of this. Now because we're doing that, we can't use this idler pulley. We have to change it because the orientation of the belt is gonna be changing. So instead of using a flat one, we're using an idler pulley with grooves in it, because instead of the outside of the belt going on this, the inside of the belt will be going on this. I got a new tensioner pulley because the old one was just old. We got ourselves a new alternator and new power steering pump. I got the bolts for the power steering pump. I got very lucky with the alternator. I had a different bracket laying here, and one of the bolts that holds the AC in ended up being perfect for the alternator, but I still need the short bolt for this. And there's a few small bolts to hold the brackets on the block that I don't have. So rather than waiting another day or two to try to get these miscellaneous bolts and try to put this whole video together, I'm gonna skip this just so that I can have something out. Just a couple small things to put together and then we should be good. But one really, really important thing that hasn't happened yet because it's getting delivered soon is about to happen, and I gotta wait for him to get here, but for you, that's the next clip. All right guys, so my buddy Jordan just dropped off this package that I've been waiting for a long time. Now this was done by Lindsay Driveline, who is about a 5-hour drive from here. And luckily I had a buddy who was nearby in the area and he was coming down to our area, so he picked this up for me. All right, let's open this thing up. Well guys, there you have it. The drive shaft is here. Thank you again, Lindsay Driveline. You guys hooked it up. These guys were amazing to work with. Since this was custom, I had to give him the length and I had to tell him all the specifications about the different yokes that I was using because it was Chevy on one end and Ford on the other. He ended up sending me a measuring card to try to help the process, but I honestly didn't know what I was doing. So I just asked him, I said, hey, can I just send you the yokes that I have so that we can eliminate all the mistakes that I'm probably gonna make? And once he received them, he started working right away. He even cleaned up the slip yoke, cleaned up the flange yoke, put all the universals together, made it all beautiful, painted it for me, and he gave me a price that I couldn't say no to. So we're working on the belt system. We got the drive shaft in. We're gonna get all this stuff squared away soon, hopefully. And then I can start doing all the fun stuff like running the plumbing and the wiring, because when all that's done, then we can fire this thing up for the first time. And then you guys are probably gonna see me the happiest that I've ever been on camera. I really can't wait for that. Now, thank you guys for 20K subs. It really means the world to me. If a couple months ago you told me that I would be at 20K subs, I honestly don't know if I'd believe it. So I'm flattered, it feels amazing. And obviously this is all because of you guys. And if you wanna keep supporting me, don't stop now. Go watch this video.